Hi, and welcome to I Do Wheeling. On today's episode, I'll be riding the S22 and explaining why I love EUC. And honestly, I don't think it matters what wheel we're talking about. This is pretty general. And of course, I've got to start by stating the obvious. It's just so much fun, whether you're riding on the road, off-road, or anything in between. You won't struggle to have fun on a EUC. And of course, it's quiet and inconspicuous in a lot of situations. You're not leaving tired tracks everywhere you go like you would be on a high-powered e-bike, for example, which allows you to use a lot of routes which normally would only be suitable for pedestrians. But please, check your speed and be respectful. We don't need a bad reputation as an EUC community. And of course, almost all EUCs come with a trolley handle, which is very convenient when going into a shop or a restaurant. You don't have to find somewhere secure to chain up your transport, which is a large anxiety for a lot of commuters with bikes, for example. Not to mention, it's incredibly useful to be able to use as a last mile commuter, whether chucking it in the boot of the car or wheeling it into the luggage compartment on a train. The convenience of this can't be understated. But let's be less serious for a minute. Let's talk tricks. One of the best things about an EUC is it brings out the inner child. You find yourself doing silly things just because, with a big grin on your face, which for me is enough reason to get a EUC in itself. I should add, depending on what size wheel you've got, you might find, for instance, with a smaller wheel, you'll be doing more technical things, more nimble tricks, and on a bigger wheel, you'll probably find yourself doing more jumps and stunts more than anything. This is just getting the best out of your wheel instead of trying to make it do things it can't, or at least probably shouldn't. Of course, the next thing worth mentioning is what I'm doing right now, which is exploring a beautiful little village on the west coast of England. And I personally think the EUC is about the best vehicle you could do this on, as it allows you to take all the little routes and nooks and crannies that maybe you couldn't do with a car, while also allowing you to quickly turn into a pedestrian and stop and enjoy the scenery and sights that are worth stopping for. And I really can't overstate how wonderful it is to be able to set your own pace while exploring. The EUC really is fantastic for this. Anyway, let's get back to some of that glorious countryside. I'm sorry, it is a little off topic, but I thought it was worth sharing, as it's truly breathtaking here. Not to backtrack on anything I've said so far, but a bit of common sense is probably a really good thing when riding in a EUC, as you've got to be able to read the roads. A slip in these conditions in a beautiful location like this could soon become something of a nightmare otherwise. So think about the surface you're connecting to, think about the weather conditions, and of course wear the proper safety equipment. But all that being said, if you do have a fall, EUCs are actually quite forgiving. As long as you're not traveling at a silly speed and hitting a dead stop, you're probably going to come off reasonably well. That is saying, if you are wearing the right safety equipment. The last thing I'd like to mention about why I love EUC is how it seems to put a smile on a lot of people's faces. Granted, there's a few who give you a cross look, but there's always going to be those who disapprove. But overall, my experiences have been extremely positive. Most people are excited, if not a little confused, on how you're able to balance on it and let alone travel at any decent speed. And I'm lucky enough to be able to share an example of this with you. Here's a beautiful little drawing my nephew Jasper did for me, showing the excitement that he feels towards electric unicycles. Anyway, that's it for today's episode. Thanks for watching, and if you'd like to see more content like this, please like and subscribe.